Hey, this is Notser, and this is Untitled. This week we're talking King of the Sea. Not going to spoil anything, but it was absolutely awesome. I also want to talk about a new Twitch/wargaming initiative for World of Warships related to container drops. And finally, Unity Day in Russia. This is because of people misinterpreting my comment, but, it's okay. I'll clarify it at the end. But first, the game in the background is myself in the Barracuda Submarine. This is the operation on normal mode. I am a full secondary build, and the secondaries are awesome. Hopefully you enjoy. My secondaries have a 30% fire chance per shell contact, so just enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. So, King of the Sea. It happened this weekend, and the finals were fantastic. Obviously, it's been going on quarter, semi. I was able to catch a lot of the finals, and I loved it. It was incredibly competitive, and it was incredibly action-packed, which forced them to counter strategy. And counter strategy is what we need in this game. And that's what we've always needed. And for the longest time, there wasn't a counter strategy available. You'd have a giant smoke meta, where everyone would only be smoke-related ships that could drop smoke and camping in smoke, and I hated that meta so much. God, that was such a bad meta. And then over-prevalence of radar ships just everywhere. Some of the games had 3, 4, 5 Stalingrads that would brute force their way through with just constant radar and everyone focusing fire. But the finals, they were great. They were perfect. Back and forth. I think almost every ship that you can think of, from a cruiser, battleship, aircraft carrier standpoint, showed up. DD's not really that valuable in competitive, unfortunately. That is my one gripe to all of this. Pretty much you can only run 1 or 2 DDs, maybe 3, but that third one isn't really a DD. It's just a DD light cruiser. I wish DDs were more involved, but DDs can't, as long as the current aircraft carrier design exists, because all they do is provide overwatch for the entire map. Everything's spotted constantly. You've got to be incredibly cautious, and that's not what DDs are looking for. DDs, if spotted, will die. There's too many great players with too much high-velocity guns, super high tier. You just can't do anything. So that's really the only disappointment from the finals for me, is that DDs just, they're not used for anything other than potentially capturing objectives, scouting, and blind torpedoes every once in a while. There was moments where DDs were openly firing because it was that close, and that's great, but from all the other classes, the DDs suffer the most in a competitive format. It just isn't as dynamic as it maybe could be. But everything's looking good. It's definitely going in the right direction. And that's all we can hope for. Will the CV rework? Will any of these mechanical changes encourage a more dynamic, across the board, all the time competitive? Who's to say? But for me, King of the Sea was spectacular. If you have a chance, watch the finals. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Now, on top of King of the Sea, if you're watching the finals, or you're going to watch anyone on Twitch, you might notice that you're starting to get some random Twitch container drops. These are different from the Twitch Prime that was going on back in the day. As long as you connect your Twitch account with your Wargaming account, you have a chance to earn Twitch containers when watching streams. And this is really cool. It gives credit, it gives flags, it gives you premium consumables. So it's a high value container, and all you have to do is log into your Wargaming account, go into the account management page for your Wargaming account, and there should be something mentioning connecting your Twitch account with your Wargaming account, and then, go through the process. But once you've connected your Twitch account with Wargaming, you're eligible for this random drop. And it was being advertised during the King of the Sea, and people were getting the drops, and it's great, and it's cool. I love this sort of idea of Wargaming. I am honestly really impressed with Wargaming's growth for World of Warships. People, oh, your favorite word, wargaming. My favorite word is fun. Okay, let's get that straight. And you know what? I have more fun with this game than I've ever had. And it continues to get better. The competitive scene continues to get better because players continue to improve with their strategy, their skill. The two teams, Omni and 07, just beautiful play across the board. Yeah, there were mistakes. But when you're pushed to the absolute brink by your opponent, you're going to make a mistake here or there. I wouldn't be too critical of people in that situation. Incredibly tense, I might add. Incredibly tense situation. But I'm really happy. I'm really happy the direction the ship game has gone. I didn't know that I was going to enjoy playing with ships this much. Some of you might not know this, but the only reason I chose World of Warships as my focus was because it was a competitive multiplayer game that was about to come out by a company that I had slight interactions with. I played a little bit of World of Tanks, but not much. I tried World of Warplanes once, but not much. And I had no real understanding of what World of Warships would ever be. I just saw it as an opportunity to try and create content and grow. And what it's grown into is a love affair with not only creating content and the community, but I actually really enjoy the competitive design of the game. It doesn't have the time to kill of like a half a second. You know, it takes time to work out what the enemy wants to do. You have a slower responding mobility ship, and it just feels really tactically thought out. And it seems to be successful. I really like World of Warships. Having said all that, I recently was offered the ability to test the British ships for War Thunder. Would you like me to do a video on War Thunder ships, and specifically the British, for this week? I would love to. I'm just curious the interest level in that property. I haven't played War Thunder ships in 2 years. I don't know exactly how good or bad it is. If it's great, then, you know, maybe I add it to the weekend content or do a token video or 2 per week, just talking about my grind to another ship or something. Just something casual and fun. That's always been my issue with War Thunder, though, is the grind is really intense. But, you know, maybe I can get access to content on the same basis as Wargaming and World of Warships. You know, just something to think about. And I didn't remember it when I first did the intro. But, yeah, thinking about it now, yeah, that would be interesting content. Now, the final thing, Russian unity. That's what Russia is celebrating today. And it's celebrating, I think, the Russian liberation, independence, unifying against the Poles, those evil Polish. They're so evil. And I made a comment, you know, no one living remembers this day, exactly what happened. And some of you interpret it as if I don't care about the day. No, I really care. I just don't know anything about it. I don't know exactly what happened. It happened over 400 years ago. You know, the information that's kept isn't as accurate as something that happened today. So I'm really interested in what exactly went down to cause this celebration. And I didn't mean any disrespect to anyone who, you know, cares about Russian unity or the day itself. Of course you care. It's cool. All that stuff's cool. I love anything that gives me more information on a culture or a country or people. I just find that fascinating. So I'm sorry if anyone misinterpreted my words. Maybe it's my fault because I just used the incorrect phrasing. Maybe it was just too aggressive, but I didn't mean any disrespect. I would never disrespect history. History is wonderful. It's the best stories in the world. They're historical. By far. Because they're so fascinating. So that, you know, that's all I want to clarify. You guys are, you know, I don't mean any, I'm not hostile at all. There's no reason to be. I'm just making a video, and I just was merely stating that because wargaming is in St. Petersburg, they're off on Monday. That's all that I was trying to say. But look at this Barracuda. God. Tons of secondary fire. It's an outstanding ship. I didn't realize the secondaries. Look at this. 140,000 damage and fires. Yeah. Leave in the comments what you think. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.